Hi everyone, welcome back to Milo e-learning. We're doing the Transatlantic Slave Trade on Economies. This is the final lessons for Term 2 History, Grade 7. Now, three countries were involved in the transatlantic slave trade with regards to economies, and this was West Africa, America, and Britain. Slavery basically shaped the economic development between these three countries. Now let's go through two terminology: politics and economics. Politics is basically about power, the role of the government, and the laws that were passed by the government, while economics is about the supply and demand of goods and services. It is basically about industry, consumer spending, the levels of employment, and generally about money. Economics and power basically influence each other. Now, slavery had a negative impact on West Africa, while it had a positive impact in America and also in Britain. What happened to the raw materials that the slave produced, you could ask yourself. The cash crops that were harvested were packed onto the ships and shipped up to England. Here they were transported to factories, and the factories produced all this raw material into products. The cotton was woven into materials that were made into clothes. The sugar cane was turned into sugar to sweeten foods and drinks, and tobacco was made into pipe tobacco and chewing tobacco. Now these goods were sold to Britain, and it was exported also to other British colonies around the world, and it was sold to make huge products. Do you also know that these products were sent to West Africa as well and sold there? Now, America and Britain developed economically because of slave labor. Vast industries such as shipping, buildings, insurance, outfitting ship crews, banks, all of this flourished through slave labor. Cheap slave labor was used basically to make huge products. Although it is hard to exactly figure out how Britain profitably developed from slave labor, we know that industries developed. It was used to process raw materials were imported, and um, ports like Liverpool, Bristol, and Glasgow profited. Now, America and Britain grew rich, while the poor slaves did not. West Africa developed negatively through this. Their families were destroyed. About 12 million people were taken across the Atlantic as slaves, and this basically dwindled out their families and their communities in West Africa. It caused humans in West Africa to suffer greatly. Their societies were disrupted, and it harmed the economic development. It also caused rebellion against their internal social structure, and it caused social instability. Now, the skilled people were removed from their communities, and traditionally, skills were passed down from generation to generation. And when a person was taken away from their community and sold into slavery, the next generation was not taught their skills, and this impacted on the economic development in West Africa. Some kings developed hugely from slave labor. They captured slaves and they sold them. They also used them in their armies. Some kings sold them and exported them across the Atlantic Ocean, and large taxes were paid to the kings, and the royal families became wealthier, while the ordinary people became poorer. Big sections of the African continent lost many young people, and there were not enough healthy and strong people to continue with the farming, and this led to the ruin of West Africa. Hope you enjoyed my lesson. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in my next video. Bye everyone. Enjoy your day.